For retro sake here. Today we are going to play Kickle Cubicle. I don't know if you've ever played this game before because I don't know you. But if you haven't, you're in for a treat today. Kickle Cubicle is a puzzle style game where you, Kickle, have to go and try to save everyone that has been frozen by the evil king. So, the only way that I've been able to find a story is to just look up what story is said about Kickle Cubicle. And the story that I find says this. Kickle wakes up one day to find his homeland, the Fantasy Kingdom, turned to ice by the wicked Wizard King. The king has imprisoned the people in dream bags. Only Kickle was unaffected. Kickle sets out to save the kingdom with his special freezing breath, which he uses to turn the invaders into ice to use against his foes. Well, my guess is the reason that he wasn't affected is because he's got ice breath. I mean, that makes the most sense, right? One of the genius parts about this game is that it comes with a password. So as you get further on into the game, you can choose to stop, use that password, and go back right to where you were. Today, we're going to play into Kickle Cubicle quite a bit, see how far we get, and probably end up coming back to it at a later time. While we do that, I'd like to give you a little history on that company at the very beginning that you saw. IREM, or IREM, as a lot of us have said whenever we see that. To start off the game, Kickle can freeze them just like that. And what you want to do is you want to get them in a position to where you can push it across to get to the other side. So just keep shoving them until obviously you can reach the other side. Now, for the most part, these guys are going to go in a direction to help you get to the end. Once you collect the magic bags, you finish the level. Pretty simple, I think. It's a fun game. It's interesting. There's going to be 4 stages. This first one being Garden Land. Only thing that I can assume is that's why you collect what it looked to be like carrots for completing that last level. Obviously, each bad guy can be froze as well. But you got to be careful with the freezing of the bad guys, because if, say, you were to unfreeze them again, then they're alive right there beside you. And when they're alive right there beside you, they're ready to kill you. And then you'll kickle the can. Terrible joke. I got a corncob talking to me. The beautiful Fantasy Kingdom is now under the rule of the Wizard King. Fair enough, that's what it said in the reading before. The ravishing palaces were hidden, and these islands were made to confine us. Kickle, please get back to the palaces and revive the Fantasy Kingdom. I mean, with or without that conversation, Corn, that's what we were going to do. Maybe he was a motivator. Maybe he was trying to tell us what is at stake, so we truly understood what we were doing. Now, because I'm trying to play this through and have some fun, I'm going to do a couple of things so you can see, like, you collect extra points if you do those types of things where you turn them into ice and then kick them into what I'm what I think it's looking like is fudgesicles, I guess. I really don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you. If you go down and like the P block in other games, you hit it, it destroys everything, freezes it all right there in its place. Not too bad so far. Pretty easy, I would say. Hopefully, if you've had the chance to ever play this game, you've beat it by now. As this game is well over 30-some years old, so I would hope that you've beat the game by now. I have played and beat this game. I haven't played it in a long while, though. So there's a good chance that I'll still do something that I didn't mean to do. One of them being not lining up the ice cubes correctly and hitting them up there where I need to make this the fastest way. I don't know if anybody's done a speed run for this game or not. But I could see people doing a speed run for this game. It has all the tails to be a speed run style game. As you saw there, if you push A, you can set up a little blocker. So if, say, you were to need to stop the ice cube at a certain spot, or the guy, prevent him from moving further, he'll stop at that said block. You set up the little ice blocker by pushing A. B shoots your freeze breath. Now, this company that made Kickle Cubicle is under the letters IREM. IREM standing for International Rental Electronical Machines. I'm sure you might be asking yourself, why? Like, why would they call it that? One of the main reasons for calling it that was their original name used to be IPM, and they changed their name from IPM to IREM mostly because they received a letter from IBM stating that it was too confusing for people because it was so close. IPM, IREM makes it a lot easier, I guess. I don't understand why it mattered if it was confusing or not to people. I'm kind of lost on that part. Like, what does it matter if it was confusing for people to know the difference? Like, you're acting like as if this is some kind of like major computer developing company that is going to be competing with you on some kind of level, where this is a video game developer. And even at the time, they weren't even for video games. They were like developing coin slot style games for cotton candy shops. So where IBM was so concerned with the confusion, I really don't know that I completely understand, but it's also... Those chickens, man, they look cool with their glasses on and everything. They are not cool. Like, they are ruthless. Like, yeah, that's right. Get off my island. My Iceland. But it just makes me wonder a little bit, you know, like IBM being so worried about that. The company IREM was originally IPM, and that was ran by Sugimoto. Now, some of us are familiar with that name for other reasons in other video games, if you will. And one of those reasons would be Sugimoto was the man in charge of Capcom. So what happened was Sugimoto was running IREM, and in 1982 there was a pretty bad video game crash, so to say. Kind of messed that up. So we're going to let him back out. And when that happened, the chair had decided that he was the reasoning for that. And they let him go. That would have been in 1982. So a year later, Sugimoto decided, I'll just start another company. And he started Capcom. So without that happening, kind of makes you wonder, like, what would have happened for Irem, later on in years, if, say, they hadn't been so hasty to blame Fujimoto for a video game crash that really wasn't his fault. Like, and I don't want to be the person to say it wasn't his fault. But at the same time, it kind of seems like that was all around. That wasn't a IREM issue. That was a video game crash issue in the 80s. So Sugimoto went on to run Capcom and obviously done very well for himself. So it's kind of one of those, like, I don't know. I wonder if he's happy about all that happened. Like, at the time, probably thought it was the worst thing ever. Possibly. I don't know the man. But I can say that typically when someone loses a job, they don't have positive thoughts about losing that job. It's usually hard times and a lot of questioning yourself and the steps that you took. Used to just be a simple cotton candy machine man. And now, without a job, I'm sure that was a difficult time, and perseverance of the human soul. Something to be said for that, because I'm sure plenty of us here all around have either lost a job, went through a hard time, and thought that we couldn't prevail. We were stuck. And let Sugimoto be just a simple example of perseverance. Whenever he possibly thought that all was coming to an end for him, wishing that he had probably stuck with the cotton candy vending style machines. It's a very interesting concept that he was in video games after originally just more or less being for cotton candy machines. I mean, that's just, I don't know, it's kind of surprising to me how so many different things like that happen for people. You can really tell a lot about somebody whenever they go through a hard time and they have to persevere through that. So if you're personally going through a hard time right now, just remember, Sugimoto lost his job doing what he thought he enjoyed, all to develop an even greater gaming company in Capcom. So never give up. Always stay strong. Do the best that you can. And don't always think that because something bad happens, that it's the end. Because quite possibly it could just be the beginning for you. So we can't hit those with our awesome freeze breath. Not too sure why, but we're not going to ask why. We're just going to move on. Go on up here and get our last little bag. Magic bag. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me here at For Retro's Sake. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoy this content, hit that thumbs up button. Share it with somebody that you think might want to play along with me. Maybe just might enjoy my content. I would surely appreciate it. So I'm going to guess that I need to go down here. We'll get one of these guys to come this way. I don't know that I really wanted to do that, but what we'll do is we'll set that there. We'll come over here. That didn't really help me out either. There we go. Now we're doing it. That is some of the best part of this game. I mean, it obviously is in the description at the beginning, it's a puzzle game. So there are many different ways to figure out how to beat the level and how to get through it. We're scooting right through Garden Land. Haven't had any more vegetables talking to us, so that's interesting. I would say the best idea would be wait until that goes by, then just set it back up again. Wait for it to go by, set it up again, goes by, and we beat that. Not too bad. So, reminder again, you press A, that sets up those little blocks. You press A again, and that puts the block back down. I can say that the one thing that I wish that this had was better sound effects. The music, from what I understand, I mean, because like I said, I played this and I beat this game, but I also haven't played it in a really, really long time. I'm coming to understand that the music just stays exactly the same, and that can be kind of a dull matter. Oh! Well, I guess we all gotta die once. He gets brought back by hearts. The game is cute as can be. It should have been... Well, that would be Cuticle, so that would be kind of gross. But could have been Cutie Cubicle. It's got a Kirby style feel to it in its cutesiness, which I know some people don't care for, but me personally, I think it's a pretty good game. Right now, I'm struggling to see where I'm supposed to be. Oh, that is not what I wanted to have happen. Just don't come towards me. There we go. Wow. I mean... Wow. Woo! Just barely getting through there. I don't have much more information on this particular game besides the information about Sugimoto, but Irem was a game developer and publisher for another game that I've played recently called Squoon, and I'll add a little tag here for it if you want to check that out. That's a very fun game. I didn't do so well in that game, but I did have a good time. Played it a couple of times since then, and I've got a little further, so I will be doing another follow-up on that game. That's one of those games where the expensiveness of it might outweigh... I don't know any time that thing turns that fast like that. I thought I was good. That's my bad. The expensiveness of that game may outweigh its value. Just because, plain and simple, I can't imagine paying astronomical amounts for a submarine game where, in all reality, the submarine part is just kind of like minuscule. Like, you know, like there's just not a lot of gameplay to it that... I didn't mean to do that. It's alright. We made it work. But Spoon was fun. Don't let me get you wrong. Like, it was a good time. Let's go ahead and get this guy. And then we should be good. I would like to watch maybe somebody else play this game to see if they try to get all of those melting fudgesicles. I don't know. It's hard to call it a fudgesicle because it's kind of like tannish yellow there. And then it's got chocolate on top. So, I mean, I'm hoping it's chocolate. I don't know what else to think it is. Let's see here. Have to go up and around, I guess. But I'm gonna guess. So yeah, this is pretty much the basis of Kickle Cubicle. Go ahead and let that guy get on out. Oh, I didn't know that happened. Guess I should have went over there and got the other ice cream bars while I could. I don't know if they're fudgesicles, ice cream bars. I don't know. I don't have the manual for this game, so I can't tell you what each item is. If I did, I would. Maybe comment down below. Tell me what your favorite puzzle style game is that you've played. Sometimes I forget that I have the option to set up the little blockers to prevent the coolest chickens of all time from coming to attack. That's what we always want to see happen. Easy breezy. What was those? Tomatoes? Got our tomatoes. Very nice. Tomato talk. Hurry up, Kickle. Climb up the vine, which is going to sprout here. Well, I had to wait for it to sprout. And you can reach the palace. That's a cute tomato. I love the eyelashes. A monster is in the palace scaring the princess. Okay. Please destroy him. That's an evil tomato. Destroy? Couldn't I just teach him a lesson? She's like, nah, take him out. Get rid of him. So at this point, I'm doing nothing. Just going for the ride on the vine. Hold on, Kickle. We only got freeze breath. We can't fly. He got some mad jumps, though. Can we shoot or something? That'd be so cool. What in the jack-o'-lantern? That is one evil-looking jack-o'-lantern there on the right. Like, it's got a D-pad for an eye. Why has that one got a D-pad for an eye? You one-eyed chicken. Just wondering, but maybe this is the chicken from the last video game that I played. And we know how them chickens be. Yeah, get up on out of here. Wait, what? I haven't played this in a long time, so I'm not sure if you can get hit by the blocks of ice. I couldn't even spit it out fast enough. And I'm not sure if, like... So I do have to get out of the way a little bit. My guess that you hit him 3 times? I mean... What a jerk. He pointed the wrong direction. I'm getting to the first boss and I'm looking like a rook. Come on. We're going to have to kickle it up a notch. Man, I can't keep up with these jokes. I'm sure you can't either. I am beaten. Sob. Now, we're going to continue this because we're at least finishing the first level. We'll come back to it since I look like a fool here. I don't think I've ever lost to this first guy. I mean, name of the game is just move out of the way and hit him. I mean, it's all you got to do. Like, I don't know how I was messing this up. Like, couldn't do anything about that one. Dead. Like, that's all. That's all it was. But no, I was looking foolish. Well, isn't that a pretty princess in a red dress? Princess Pumpa. Oh, my dear Kickle, you saved me. I did. There are 4 palaces in this fantasy kingdom. But the Wizard King came and took all the palaces. Where did he take them? Get back all the palaces. Fruitland. Excellent. Well, for retro's sake here, when we return, we will be entering Fruitland. I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough of World 1 in Kickle Cubicle. For retro's sake here, have a great day.